What's going on, Omnibuddies? Mitch here, and we are back today doing an overview. What are we looking at? We are looking at the latest Kickstarter to drop from Magnetic Press. We are looking at Tezucomi, a tribute to Osamu Tezuka. All right, so first things first, just get this out of the way, fair warning, I do some side work with Magnetic Press, so if you think that's going to influence my overview or my thoughts on this, do with that as you will, but frankly, if I didn't like it, I wouldn't talk about it on my channel. I'd talk about it somewhere else, not associated with me. But you know what? I'm here talking about it because it's freaking awesome, and let's find out why. So, first things first, this is 2 volumes in a beautiful, really freaking beautiful slipcase. I friggin' love Magnetic Press and just the quality that goes into these books. You'll get some close-ups here in a few minutes, or a minute, whatever, of these books, but dang, so good. So these are volumes 1 and 2 of Tezucomi. So these are like artists and creators paying tribute to Osamu Tezuka, and dang, so freaking cool. I was absolutely blown away by these books. I don't have a huge background. Like, I love manga. I love a lot of the properties in these books, but I don't know them super well. And you know what? This worked as a really great introduction, and I am really excited to go check out a lot of these. So it was a really cool, just kind of like a little bit of a hook, first taste to get me addicted to this stuff. And dang, so cool. You know what? I'm just gonna stop talking about it like this. Let's talk about it and look at the books. All right, so this is Tezucomi, Volume 1 and 2. This is Artists of the World are paying tribute to the works of Osamu Tezuka. Mostly these are European creators in these 2 volumes. I know there's a ton of other creators in Japan, China, just all over the world outside of Europe that have participated in Tezucomi, but this collects mostly just the European creators that are highlighting and paying tribute to Osamu Tezuka. These are published by Magnetic Press and retail for $39.99 a piece. And these are some quality premium editions. They have that beautiful faux linen textured hardcovers with those classic Magnetic Press rounded corners. And they're accented with silver foil on the spine and front covers. And they have beautiful silver gilding on these page edges. I will say that these are limited editions, so other hardcovers and trade paperbacks will probably not have these, so fair warning, but these ones, if you can get the limited editions, are absolutely gorgeous editions. Now, since these are paying tribute to Tezuka, these volumes are read in the traditional manga way, from right to left. So if you open these books up, I love that there is a, hey, this is the last page, and it explains to new readers how to read manga and how to go through the book, which I think is awesome because you don't really see these in many of the English editions of manga that come to the North America. So this is a really cool way of just getting people in really quickly and explaining how things go. If you've never read this way, I had never been exposed to reading in this way before until a couple years ago, and I was able to really switch grooves and pick up on it and really never got lost. And it took me, I don't know, maybe like 50 pages before I was totally used to it and just flying through it like a normal comic. So if I can do it, anyone should be able to do it. So Volume 1 has 9 stories in it. You got The Mouse, Moon Rabbit, A Taste for Blood, The Cursed, Eyes of Pandora, Love at First Sight, Doppelganger, Sangoku, and Catalante. There are a ton of really great creators in these books. I wish I had time to go through all of them and highlight each one of them because so many of these stories are wonderfully told and are beautifully illustrated. And I also really love that each of these volumes starts off with a what is Tezucomi, and it goes into some history of these stories and these characters and Tezuka himself. Many of these stories are also accompanied by a little description of who the character is, a little bit about them, their genesis, and gives you the setting of what you're reading. So it really gets you going, gets you started, and launches you into your read through Tezucomi. These stories really don't hold back. As soon as you open up the first volume, you're tossed into Ayako, the mouse, and you think you're just kind of in a sort of mystery story, and you're wondering where this girl's being held and what's going on, and then she slowly starts to lose your mind. And it kind of degrades into a bit of a horror comic, and it took me by surprise, but really what this does is gets you set up to anticipate not knowing what to anticipate as you're reading these stories. You are just tossed in the deep end, and it is wonderful and also a bit horrific at times, in a good way or a bad way. I don't know. How can horrific ever be good? Anyways, at the end of each story, you'll also find interviews with the creators about their work and what Tezuka meant to these creators and their stories, and how Tezuka influenced them personally as a creator. Really wonderful stuff. A lot of extras in this book with that. I absolutely love these. One of my favorite stories is the second one. You have Moon Rabbit, and it is just wonderfully illustrated. Many of the pages have no text on them, so you're just getting story told through imagery. Even as a relatively long-time comic fan, and having been reading manga for a few years now, here and there, not fully in the deep end reading these super long, well-loved stories, but I was not familiar with all of these characters. So it was really cool to meet some of these characters that I have heard their names of in the periphery, and I've never actually read their stories. It was a very fun introduction, a very fun taste of these characters and their stories and who they are. I really enjoyed these stories in volume 1, and all of these stories you could read in any order that you want. You could pick up volume 2 of the hardcovers or volume 1 and flip to any of the stories and read them, because they do all stand alone, so you won't be lost on any of them. The paper quality itself, aside from just the amazing art and storytelling, is phenomenal. You never see through the paper. It's not ultra thin. It's got that classic manga paper feel, so it's got a nice weight to it and a really nice feel where it's not ultra glossy or anything like that. You're not leaving fingerprints all over. It's got premium quality written all over it. And because it is all black and white and the paper all feels the same, much of the art is a little bit different from story to story, but it all does feel very uniform and cohesive. And on top of that, each book has a ribbon bookmark built into it so that you don't have to go digging around for bookmarks or lose it off the edge of the couch like I tend to do. Volume 2 does collect another 9 stories: Big X, The Creator and the Destroyer, Last Recital, 3 Richards, The Guardian of Mount Moon, Mina's Song, Heartless, Princess Knight, and the real difference is with this Volume 2 is the last story, Team Phoenix. This is the only one that you want to read in a specific order, and the only order is you want to read Team Phoenix last. If you haven't read Volume 1 and you have it, I would say go back and read Volume 1. If you're just jumping straight to Team Phoenix and you haven't read any of Volume 2, definitely start at the beginning with Big X and work your way to Team Phoenix, because what it does, and it is so cool and so unexpected, is it does a giant team up of basically every single character that you read about in both volumes of Tezucomi. It is so fun, unexpected, and the best part about it is effortless. And what I mean by effortless is that it works so well. It doesn't seem forced. It doesn't seem gimmicky. It just works. It is so fun to see all of these characters that are not interconnected at all of a sudden end up in the same story. Wonderful stuff, great fun. If you don't know much about Osamu Tezuka, or you know everything there is to know about Tezuka, these books are what you need to grab, because for new readers, they're excellent introductions to all of these characters. And for seasoned Tezuka readers out there, these are such great homages that you cannot miss out. It's a great journey. I was laughing, I was freaked out, I was sad, I felt all the emotions, but the whole time I was excited reading these books. All right, so as you can see, these books are just absolutely freaking gorgeous, just like the premium quality that you can possibly get. I have the hardcover editions. Obviously they come in another slipcase or another edition that's like the traditional manga trade paperback, big kind of thick compendiums. So you can get those or the hardcovers. The slipcases are limited edition. I believe that the silver gilding on the books is limited edition, but I believe you can just grab the volumes 1 and 2 hardcover or the volumes 1 and 2 manga trade paperbacks. A lot of different ways you can go on this, and frankly, after the Kickstarter is fulfilled, there's probably going to be some overages that are available in Magnetic Press's store. If you want to get them there when they're available, hit up the link in my description, use that link, and you can get 20% off your first order there. Support my channel and all that, and hit up Magnetic Press. Or some local comic shops may have backed the Kickstarter and gotten the local comic shop tier where they could buy a bunch of the books at a reduced rate like they do, you know, from Diamond and all that kind of stuff. But so you might find them at your local comic shop. So if you do find those slipcases at your LCS, make sure to snatch those up because they are limited edition. I know mine is number 31 of 750 of the slipcase editions. I think there was a couple other tiers in that edition of some editions. So I think there's about 1,000 slipcases that they made in the hardcovers. So definitely a limited item, and dang, I really, really hope that Magnetic can do another volume 3 and 4 slipcase and bring some of the other creators to the English speaking and reading audience, because dang, these are so good and they would look so great having two double slipcases on the shelf next to each other. Hot dang, I got to clear some space. Almost this entire thing right here is all Magnetic Press. I got like a little stack of Magnetic up in my closet too for overages. I gotta clear out some space somewhere for all these books. I mean, yeah, I'm a little bit biased, but dang, I absolutely love what Magnetic's been doing with these books. Just bringing all these European artists and creators to the English speaking audience, especially mostly over here in North America. Just so many great creators out there. There's Midnight Order dropping soon, Frontiers dropping soon. Both of those books were phenomenal. Oh man, there's so many really great ones coming out. As of the filming of this video, there's Jim Bishop's My Dear Perot and Lost Letters slipcase edition, and it's got like hopefully like a transparent slipcase. Such good stories, and it's very like Studio Ghibli, I think I'm pronouncing that right, like vibe going on that influenced Bishop. Dang, so many good things. I keep saying that over and over and over again, but you know what? It's because I'm loving it. So many good books, so many interesting stories that you can just read, and you don't need any of the like long canonical histories of all these characters or anything like that. You can just like jump in, get like 120 to 240-ish page story that's just self-contained and freaking awesome and way different than what we normally get here in like North America. So good. Definitely check them out. Check it out if you are at all interested in some different stories that have different viewpoints, different perspectives, really different but awesome art. Check them out. All right, I'll stop just blathering and talking at the camera and you guys. But don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notification, do all those things. But the most important thing to do is comment. Let me know in the comments what your favorite one-off story is that you have ever read. So I guess it could be Marvel or DC, but I want a story that has you don't have to know anything else about any of the characters in it. It is truly like one and done. Let me know in the comments what your favorite true one and done comic graphic novel is. I'd love to find some really cool one-off books, maybe even to highlight on my channel. All right, that's it. Take care, stay cool.